Just pulled into my house. I'm going to show y'all around the yard here in a second. Just show you the plants that are up. But I also wanted to tell y'all, if you follow my blog and whatever, you know that I'm about to get a new camera mount for the car, because I don't like to drive and to hold the camera. I don't think that it's the safest. But the way that my steering wheel is, like, my dashboard has curves to it, so I can't just stick y'all up there with like a sticky pad and it stay. So what I've decided to do and what I ordered was a dash mount. So when I go up to the Smokies, which I do fairly often, I'll be able to just like mount y'all up there, and then you can drive along in the Smokies with me, which I think everybody will kind of like. So that's upcoming this summer. I'm also going to do some more geocaching. I'm going to do some metal detecting. There's an old 1800s house on my family farm where I'm going to do some 1800s, like, well, not 1800s metal detecting, but I'm going to metal detect at that site. I've also been told about a swimming hole up there in Kentucky where the Amish kids go and swim, and it's like a cave system where it comes out of a cave and then it goes back into a cave in this one spot. So it's like a blue hole. So I'm excited to go check that out, and I'll take y'all along on that. Also this summer, going to be doing a canoe trip, and I'm not sure how that will go because I can't get the camera wet. I don't have a GoPro camera, although I'd like to have one. So we'll see about that, but I may take you on part of that. Let's see what else is coming up this summer. Oh, and for all of you ladies who are like me, who love Pinterest ever so very much, and you pin all those outfits, but you never actually go buy them. You just look at them and think, oh, that's pretty. I have a goal that I'm going to pick an outfit of a week and probably pick it on a Sunday. So it won't start this week. I also have a blog coming out about that. But I'm going to pick an outfit, and then I'm going to give myself a week to go find that outfit at the Goodwill, Thrift Smart, Music City Thrift, at whatever thrift store, as well as like your discount shop. So like TJ Maxx, and there's like an adult version. I don't know if y'all have Plato's Closet around where you are, but that's like a consignment shop. There's also an adult grown-up version of that. My neighbors are probably staring at me thinking I'm crazy talking to a camera, but I would use that, but no, like, not Dillard's, Macy's. You know, H&M might be okay because they're fairly inexpensive. So we do have an H&M here in town that I might go and look at. But my goal is within a week to like get the whole outfit, jewelry, shirt, top, shoes, all of it, so that I can get my wardrobe updated. Because right now, I mean, you can see what I have on. I feel like I look like pretty much like a slob, and I don't really care for that much. So all of that's coming up. And if there's something that you want to see on the channel, or something that you'd like me to videotape that I go and do, let me know. You know, of course, there's going to be more of the pets and more of just the craziness of my life. But anyways, talk to y'all soon. Alrighty, everybody. Here's the first thing in my yard. It is up and blooming. If y'all can see it or not. Hopefully you can. I have monkey grass, which if I get down in here, it's still alive. I don't know, maybe pull that out this year. I have monkey grass, more daffodils. My roses are starting, if you can see, are starting to bud out. This lovely ugly pit is where I'm going to plant the gladiolas. This plant back here actually will get giant throughout the summer, and I'll have to cut it back. You guys can see where it's already starting to leaf out a bit. I don't know what this is called. Mom doesn't either. I do have one of those. Back over here in the front of my yard, I keep cannas, but of course it's still too early for the cannas and they still look awful. So I have that. Then down here I have, this is actually not a weed, although there are a lot of weeds here. This is a plant that I want to keep. It's one that you can get, it's real pretty. You get a cutting really easily off of. I'll post up the name below when I can figure it out again. I always have a hard time. Then I have my irises, and I have daylilies. And I've made up my mind that in this little corner here, it has all these weeds, and I can't keep them out even though it's got pebble. So I think I'm going to put creeping phlox in here. and then it can fall over this wall and make it a little prettier, because you know, concrete walls are what they are. And then if you look here, I have this tree, or this bush here, and it was pretty, but now like 90% of it is died, and I don't know why. But I think what I'm going to do with it is dig it out, and I think I'm going to put a hydrangea there, or yeah, I think that's what they're called, a hydrangea bush, and let it do. It won't mess up the downspout, because the downspout is a French drain, if you can see there. So I have French drain there. And then I have these everywhere in my yard. And I'll see if I get out the sun. But I have little bluebells, like every single where, just scattered throughout the yard back up that way. There's one. They're just everywhere. So, and then I've just been like mowing this area. It is supposed to be all mulch, but it's a pain to keep clean. So I think what I'm going to do is take one little area at a time and try to clean it out. And if you live in the Nashville area, I used to have outside cats, but I don't anymore. So I'm going to be selling the igloo. There's no reason to keep it. My cats have been gone for a year. I thought maybe they would come back, but they haven't. This bush, thankfully, it looks like has been killed. So I'll pull that out, and I probably will plant something fun right in here. I hated that bush, so I'm not really unhappy to see it go. This one needs cleaned, and back in behind it needs cleaned as well. I really am not huge on weeding. Really hate it. Wish I had like a kid that I could have do that for me, like my mom used to have me do it. But you can see here on my roses, and these are knockout roses, so they'll have to be trimmed a couple times. They have to be knocked back a couple times a year. So I have those in this kind of bush. And then there is concern about this tree. I came over to look underneath this tree here, because this is where most of my hostas are. But I don't see any of them at all. I don't see any evidence at all of them coming up, and like the biggest clump is back this way. So I really I think it's too early for them, because, oh, well, here, you can see, maybe you can see a little bit, like right here. Is it focusing? Come on, focus. There we go. Right here you can see just the beginning of the purple edges of them. So they're going to come up. At least that clump of them is. I'm a little concerned about this tree because, of course, hostas are shade loving. My other concern is that this tree be dead. I don't know. I just pulled that one too hard and it came right off. But like when I pull on the tree, it's still pretty bouncy. And I do see what I think are some buds that are, come on, focus, that are perhaps still viable on it. So if that's the case, because like that one looks dead, but you know, these branches are still nice and wiry. They're not brittle. I did pull a branch off a minute ago that was brittle, but I'm gonna see. I go to a networking event where there's a gentleman who does tree treating, so I'm gonna see if I can pay maybe them to come out and look at it. Also came over here to look at my other tree and the other places where there are hostas, and I don't see any of the other hostas even peeking up above the ground yet. I'm hoping to put some flowers here. I also wanted to look at this, and you can see there's an ant there. That concerns me a little bit, but I need to get out here now that it's dry, and you can see the part that I've sealed here really well, and then you can see where it's not completely sealed, and I've got to reseal this whole tree to make sure it doesn't bleed to death as it comes up. But it is loaded with buds. If you can see the red, and they look like this. They're these little floral little flower pieces, and it has ants all over it. I don't know why this tree has ants all over it, but it does. So anyways, that is what I have going on in my yard right now. Here's another clump of those little flowers. They're just like, there's some there. There's another clump here. They're everywhere. They've been a little bit more knocked back because they mow my yard a little bit faster than what they should in the spring, but there you go. So those are the flowers and the plants that I have. I think next year the plan is going to be to plant these and tulips maybe all down here, And since that's dead, I think on this side, since this is dead, I'm going to get some of these red spike flowers that hummingbirds like and put right in there. That'll come back, that are bulbs. It'll be sheltered up there against the house. So, and up here, I have plans to maybe put a climbing vine. But I think what I'm going to get are two just little square things. And it can climb up the trellis here. It can climb up onto this. So, anyways, yeah, that's what I got going on. Okay, and now we're back in the house. So here are the gladiolas that I'm planning to plant outside. They're not big bulbs by any stretch. I mean, put my hand up against them, you can see they're fairly small. Usually they'll get like so big, but for the price I couldn't beat it. So those are the gladiolas. And here in the pantry, oh, it's really warm in my house at the moment. Here in the pantry are the morning glories that I'm planning. These are what I'm planning to plant. American seed, 3 for $1. Excuse me. Morning glories, it says to wait, I don't know, sometime between March and April to plant. I may plant them a little early. If I lose them, it'll be okay, but I'm going to try to plant them maybe this afternoon.